Hi, I'm Terry Lee, and I'm collecting the stories of the Minnesota women during Metro Surge. And I woke up this morning in a rage. It's full moon, I'm given that credit, but I think this is a really powerful time because I am so angry to express and to talk to you about the women of Minnesota and how we were acting first out of our rage, because underneath that rage is fierce love. And the story that's coming out tomorrow is Becca and her experience as a rapid responder who followed school buses to their schools so that ICE wouldn't interfere with the children. And that's really the rage. I mean, women are so fierce right now. We are so fucking pissed off. And I woke up just with one of those, I'm mad at everything. And that's part of perimenopause and whatever, but when the surge came in and it came after our children, and you guys saw it maybe in the national news with little Liam, but it was happening long before Liam. We were seeing the surge and ICE and all those goons hurting our babies. And do not hurt a mama's baby, even if it's not even her own baby. Do not hurt the children, because mamas get angry. And this rapid responder, Becca, she's fierce. She actually started all of this. I saw a post of hers on Substack, and her post was just her picture, but her picture was fierce. She was rageful in that picture, and she was talking about being a nurse. She works full-time in a medical setting, and she has babies of her own at home that she's taking care of. She's a typical mom of kids of various ages going through all their stuff, and she's dealing with family stuff because her parents are MAGA and they've rejected her trans baby, which made her angry enough. But then ICE shows up and her 10-year-old comes home from school and says, "Mom, Dad, are they gonna take you too?" This is a white suburban family in a very wealthy neighborhood, and this little girl was terrified because her friend's parents had been taken. And this mama was so angry. Don't hurt the babies. And they were hurting not only her kid, who was scared that she was going to be taken, but they were hurting the kids in the neighborhood. And then she drives to school, drops off her teenager, and before they get to the school to drop off the kid, the car in front of them got raided by ICE, and that parent got taken. And that teenager then didn't want to drive in a car to Carline for school ever again. Do not hurt the babies. This is why the mothers, it's the mothers and the mamas and the women, even us women who don't have babies, something in us, something in our room like churns, something in our core like gets so fiery, so passionate, so don't mess with us. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Like, if you hurt our babies, we feel it churn inside us. It's like we have contractions again, and we moan and we groan and we have to do something. And so it was these women that showed up and did something. And so Becca, she's got all these things going on in her family, and she's like, don't fuck with the babies. So she shows up every morning before school, before her job. She's following the school buses to school so that those kids get there safely. And then she goes to work all day, and then she comes home from work and she follows the school buses home, and she makes sure those babies are okay, and she writes her lawyer's phone number on her arm in case she gets stopped. And then she goes home and she has to play happy mom and put those babies to bed and keep them safe and keep them feeling wonderful and remind them that she loves them, even though she's got this rage churning in her. And those hours of doing rapid response, showing up for the neighbors and following those school buses to school and making sure ICE can't get between her and the school bus, that's a whole nother full-time job. And it's not one she did any real significant formal training for. That was a one-day weekend training, maybe, if that. And on top of it, these women were getting in cars and they were doing this all the time. There were two women here in Minnesota that they were following ICE to make sure that they didn't get at their kids, And ICE stopped them and arrested them for obstruction. They're handcuffed in the back of the SUV, and there's 2 ICE people in the front of the car, and one of those ICE agents has a seizure, and the other guy doesn't know what to do. And you know what? These women are nurses, and these nurses took care of that ICE agent. They got the other ICE agent with their voice. They talked kindly. They de-escalated the situation. They said, we know what to do. They took off their handcuffs. They took care of this man until EMTs were able to show up and get him off to ER. And then they re-handcuffed them and took them in. And you know what? Months and months later, those charges were dropped. That's how angry the women are. That's why we showed up the way we did. We mothered every single person, and we're continuing to mother. We even mothered the ICE agents. We mothered the other people's babies because their mothers couldn't, and we mothered our own babies every night and made them feel safe even though the world around us was not safe. And we mothered the immigrants, and we mothered every single soul we could. And so the whole chapter that I put out on Substack throughout the month of June was about stories of mothers, women mothering other people's babies, even if those babies were grown men having a seizure because they didn't know what to do. So go read my Substack, fiercelovemn.com, to read Becca's story of being a rapid response mom and writing her lawyer's name on her forearm and her baby catching her do that. And go follow my YouTube, where I will give more of these commentaries. Every Tuesday, I read a new story here on YouTube, and I comment on it every Monday before it comes out. And I love you fiercely. Thank you for giving a shit.